Marine reacts to Escape from Tarkov, Raid, Episode 2, by Battlestate. As always, I'm going to be leaving a link to the original video and channel down in the description below, so go ahead and make sure that you check them out. If you didn't see the Episode 1 video that I did on it, in the beginning there, for about 3 minutes, I talk about my time in the military and kind of what I've went through and all that. Honestly, it's nothing too exciting, but it just gives you kind of a background as to where I'm going to be coming from. And obviously, again, really don't take anything I say too seriously. This is just me picking things here and there as far as maybe tactics that they're using, little key things that I just see and decide to point out or just provide extra information on. So don't take it too seriously. This is just for entertainment purposes. So let's go ahead and get into episode 2. But before we do, don't forget to like, subscribe. It really does help me a lot. Hit that notification bar right there. That way you're notified every time I do upload. Sometimes I upload twice a day. Now I'm working on them in the evenings and they're releasing them early the next day. That way when you all wake up, you have a video fresh first thing in the morning. So without further ado, let's go ahead and see what Escape from Tarkov Raid Episode 2 has in store for us.
Ты знаешь, я вдруг очень ясно поняла, что, наверное, не потяну такую жизнь. Правда. Я не смогу изо дня в день делать вид, что все в порядке. Знаю, что однажды мне даже не скажут, куда возлагать цветы. Ладно, я, конечно, могу говорить все, что угодно. Ты же вновь все сделаешь, как ты считаешь нужным. Поедешь на свою эту войнушку. Я просто хочу, чтобы ты знал. И я не из тех, что несут чушь о том, как мы все равно останемся друзьями.
Свои, не стреляй, блядь! По 9! Свои! Мужики, все живы?
Маус, нормально.
Ворот порядок. Держи ворота. Надо валить отсюда, пока на подстволах не накидали.
У них, походу, только 7 была.
Сейчас эти черти оттянут раненых и по-любому будут чистить ангар. Так что давайте быстрее уебывать, пока наши дымы не сдуло.
Мужики, готовьтесь отходить.
Тогда лучше валить через железку.
Граником никого не зацепило. Где демон?
Демон здесь.
Нас там точно не встречают.
Уже нет. Блять, мужики. Демон, все.
Alright, so they're still keeping security. So I'm assuming that these were the other guys that, if they couldn't have been the ones that were already outside. These must be other friendlies, because those guys, I remember, they came running back in. But as soon as in the beginning when it started, and you see him like immediately turn around and start shooting, obviously he's disoriented. He doesn't know kind of what's going on. I mean, hell, they just had an RPG fly at them, and I wouldn't say he was going condition black, which is just a term that's used to show like you're in a situation where you're panicking, or like you just start acting on instinct and you're just seeing like you're not really seeing well, and you're just think of it as like a panic attack but like times 10. Now obviously in this kind of scenario it would be way more understandable. There was an instance when we were doing some inside urban training over in Camp Pendleton, where I had a buddy of mine where I had gotten down because I had gotten shot because I didn't know where I was getting shot from, and it's these little sim rounds that paint you, and I got shot like 6-7 times in the back. So I had to drop down, pretend to be like I was dead. And then a buddy of mine who was behind me, who was also part of my peer group, kind of starts freaking out. I keep hearing him saying like, "Hey, Martinez is down. Martinez is down." He's not moving. He's not really relaying other information, saying like where he might have seen the shots. Like he could have been like, "Hey, I felt this way," because I honestly really didn't see the guy who shot me until after I'd already got shot. And I was trying to, when the dude told me, one of the PSOs, or like the people, not PSOs, but one of the instructions there says, "Hey, you're dead. Lay down." I tried to lay down in a way where I would fall, and they would say, "Oh, okay, he fell this way, so the shots must have came from this direction." But my buddy at the time, he went condition black, kind of, and then he was just kind of panicking, almost flagged or squad leader. So I thought that was interesting. And then they keep yelling friendly, 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 until it finally like seeps in, like, "Hey, you guys have a little bit of time right now to regroup and decide what you're gonna do."
Под Борлом держим дальний угол. Пока все чисто.
Да там только сильно не разгоняйтесь, место открытое.
Вон одна. А на той стороне железки мы сняли еще одну пулеметную лёжку.
Also, real quick, and sorry for pausing so frequently. I have seen and heard that people who were making this were actually instructed by actual people. I think it was, some people said the Soviet-Afghan War, or I forgot which one they mentioned specifically, but like apparently also the guys active in this are actual soft guys or SF guys or from somewhere. So obviously they're going to do things very differently from my experience, at least. I've seen them operate in ways that were completely different to the way we would operate, like a line company, just because obviously they have more benefits of being smaller, that they're going to have more gear, like say comms, and they're able to kind of do things their own way, like the way that they specifically feel most comfortable doing, like, and possibly establishing their own SOPs. But obviously, if you're like me in a line company, there was always a certain standard that was supposed to be kind of done company-wide. So, which is why you'll probably see some soft guys do things a lot differently than what you would normally expect. And obviously, I'm coming from this line company mentality right now. I am fully aware that they're doing things the way they're gonna do things. And obviously, they would actually have experience in that type of scenario. I mean, unlike myself, obviously.
Побеждали вас.
Вот суки, продуманные гады.
Походу, Скиф оказался прав. И если б не фарт, нас бы расхуярили по эти два расчета.
Наш фарт обеспечили вон Борс с атлетом.
Хорош гнобить Скифа,
А
блядь.
ты считаешь, что проебать вылет группы на задачу? Ты хуя доблесть, да?
А меня там не было. А вот когда по нам в ангаре из РПГ захуячили, я был. И если б не Скиф, то я бы сейчас нес 104-й.
Вперед.
Атлет, так что там у нас по группе Скифа?
Да вообще никаких следов. Мы все обыскали. Результат хуй.
Да, херово.
Нужно проверить еще пару резервных точек. Мои пацаны не могли просто так исчезнуть.
Конечно, не могли. Мы их найдем. Входим.
Ровно в 23:50 в порт уходит Татар. Напоминаю, на блокированных территориях гражданских нет. Там только мародеры и залетные части.
Товарищ командир, а когда эта шляпа в Таркове уже прекратится? Все ж в курсе, из-за кого все это.
Сегодня Терра Групп для всех пушистые зайки. Они борют голод в Кении и создают технологии завтрашнего дня.
Тогда почему наши не могут просто обнародовать результаты расследований? Чем в реальности занимается эти мрази?
Потому что миру нужны весомые доказательства.
А у наших типа невесомые. Политики, блядь.
Проблемы дома должны оставаться дома.
Да, я знаю. Но ты также говорил, что возвращаются лишь те, кому есть куда вернуться.
На вылет-то еще есть время, но тебе прямо сейчас нужно решить, с кем ты.
Да что тут вообще решать?
Маркиз. Это выдра, прием. Маркиз. Это выдра, прием.
Ну чё, голяк? Глухо.
Это единственное место на маршруте, где мои парни могли бы закрепиться.
На проверку нужно время, а у нас юсейки на хвосте. Объект сложный. Будем чистить в ППХ, снова потери будут.
И что, мы просто пройдем мимо? А если я прав? Если мои парни там, если они ранены?
Ты такую же хуйню загонял, когда нас на тот ангарчик вывел. А я демона знал еще с армейки.
Отставить разговоры, Ворон. Скиф прав. У нас есть задача, и мы будем ее выполнять. Готовьтесь.
Ворон, ну чё вы там?
У нас пока голяк. Никаких следов группы Скифа. Идем проверять второй корпус. У нас контакт. Патруль диких минус. Контроль.
Oh, okay, so I don't know if y'all saw that, but before they were even going, right, like when they started to speed a little bit down that hallway, you see that he had the buttstock in his right shoulder, right? And then quickly, because he doesn't have the sling, or I don't know if he does have a sling on him, but he quickly transitions to his offhand. I thought that was pretty cool. I mean, lots of people do it, especially when you're going around a corner that, I mean, even with the M16s where we would have to pop it out of our shoulder if we were going around a corner, right? We would still, even if we had it offhand, we would have the buttstock like facing outward, right? Or with the M4, we can actually collapse the buttstock a little bit to make it a little easier. And also, I'm pretty sure you all know by this point, that suppressors are not 100% silent. They're a lot louder than what they usually make it seem. But I mean, this sounded pretty good. This sounded pretty realistic as far as like from when I've heard them be shot. Yeah, pretty cool. Also, as far as them going down the stairs, or like they got someone facing down, they got one person facing left, one person facing right. I thought that was pretty cool.
Контроль. Опять повсюду эта хуйня.
Okay, sorry, pausing again, but when they went inside there, right? I mean, honestly, I've never really used the flashlight on my M4. I mean, we had a PEG 16 which had a flashlight and a laser on it. I mean, it's a good way to blind someone though if you're going inside the room. But besides that, it's good. Like you saw that the other guy was directly right behind him, searching the opposite side of what the first dude was searching. And that was always kind of one of the main things, at least for us, that you never go into a room by yourself because you can't really clear it necessarily. Also, it depends on the room. And you never know how big the room is actually going to be. And also with those dead checks, I mean, obviously, we've had some people do that too during training, of course. But typically for us, at least, we would have to like muzzle thump them, flick their eyeball just to make sure that they're dead. But, you know, these guys are going to do the things their way. So, I mean, honestly, I think I did it too one time during training where I just went just to make sure, you know. Obviously, it was like the little fucking, God, I forgot what they were called. Just call it dummies that go up and down. And as far as them coming back out, when he got shot right here, I don't understand why this guy, I mean, maybe he wasn't paying attention for like 1 second, but I feel like he should have been able to shoot first. Because the dude at the end of the hallway that would be shooting, his muzzle most likely would be pointing out unless he's backed up a little bit. And then that way I can understand why this guy wouldn't have seen him. Let's see how this goes though.
Тут еще и диких подбежало. Ну сейчас, блядь, наших там точно расхуячат. Все, выдвигаемся.
Форт, мы идем к вам, идем к вам.
Их нажали с той стороны! Все, спеша!
Там переходите, ставьте!
Живые! Вот! Работаю за тобой справа! Вот! Вот! Пошел! Отстань! Мне прорваться через тики! Через дальний коридор! Через пошел! Не уебывай!
I think scavs is the game, one of the terms in the game, because I have seen it. Also, I've tried to download the game, but there's issues with actually getting the little confirmation code that they give you. But I like the fact that every time they're moving here, or like they're starting to move to the side, they're giving like that little shoulder tap, because obviously you're not going to be able to hear very well with all those gunshots going on. And the little tap is just a quick thing to be like, hey, we're moving, and then they start moving. So it's pretty cool. Oh, again, he took another shot. I think there's a door right behind him. I don't know if that leads into a room, but it'd probably be best to get him out of there. Get him into the room at least. When he said JL, I'm assuming he meant grenade launcher or 203s. And most likely they would have a leaf sight, which is one of the sights that's at the front. And what we typically had, which we didn't really use, we had a GLS also, which was basically, I guess if you want to call it, a RCO in a sense for the actual 203, which I used it a couple times because to me it seemed more accurate than the leaf sight for myself. Yeah, it would even tell you if it's leveled or not. It had like a little green dot.
Наш вылет в 23:50. Опоздавшие на борт будут догонять пешком.
Буду как штык, клянусь. Только у мамы надо отпроситься.
Правила знают все, на базе никаких мобильных.
Командир, а у тебя там спецсвязь?
До погрузки на борт еще 4 часа. Проведите это время с пользой.
just real quick, as far as all of them just sitting there, man, I can't tell you how much that brings back times. The whole hurry up and wait. You would get everything ready so many hours beforehand, and this would be onto anything and everything that we would do. If we're going on a hike, we're going to be at the Armory parking lot, maybe like at, 4, 5 in the morning, but we're not going to actually step off until like 10 or between like 8 or 10. And then it's just, there's a whole lot of, I mean, I guess I've always understand it as well, to be like, if there's ever any like last little case scenarios, that's why they always have time to do whatever might occur. But fuck, man, even in Kuwait, so many times just sitting around literally doing nothing, and you've got to stay there.
Мужики, а где бировская группа? Мы грузиться сейчас должны.
Вы как, что ли? Так вон они!
У нас же вылет только через час.
Да говорят, ваш командир переиграл все, но пораньше.
Alright, let's go ahead and talk about that for a minute. So technically they're down one guy because they left earlier, because obviously it seems like the person that was in charge decided for our character here. Now, I don't know if he's gonna how he's gonna get there. Maybe he's gonna get there with the other guys. Maybe he's gonna find his own way. But I'm liking that there's actually some story starting to develop. You're getting a little background, at least on one character, or someone that I guess is gonna be the person that we get behind. I really like that, like, they're doing like a lot of things. I mean, honestly, and to make something very clear, I'm saying again, as I said in the first video, I'm not a combat vet. I haven't seen any combat. I was never in a firefight. So this is all just coming from my own opinion and just things that I see, or things that I want to try to point out more information on, to the best that I know of. Now, if I'm wrong, you can always let me know down in the comments. I'm also just really digging the fact that this is, if this were a whole movie, like I'm talking an hour and a half to 2 hour type movie, this seems like a lot better than Hollywood, right? Because you're actually, even just the way they talk to each other, you can tell that these guys have been working together for a while. But that's gonna go ahead and do it for this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, really does help me out a lot. Hit that dislike button if you didn't like it. It helps me for the channel. If you're curious to see what's coming up next, check the description down below. You're gonna see a list of about 5 videos. Top to bottom, it's gonna be how I view them. Until then, I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.